Alright, Shalom, Mike, and first and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakah, Kodash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. I'd like to say Shalom to the elect that's teaching the word, all truth, faith, and sincerity. And yeah, today, I just want to tell you this lesson. The vision is yet for an appointed time, which we are in the appointed time of the destruction of America. See, this was already set in stone. This was already, ordained from the beginning. This was part of the movie script. That this place, America, was going to be overthrown by the way of thermonuclear war, man. And the way to gauge that is by the different events that play out throughout the planet Earth. Matter of fact, let's start off with this. Because now we see the motivation, you see this RFID microchip, the mark of the beast, is gaining steam now. You got Elon Musk pretty much promoting this Neuralink. And just people, it's still chipping parties going on. It ain't like that just died down. That was just a one-time thing. It's still chipping parties going on. The money is feeble. Things are happening now. Why? Because the words of Yahweh Shema Shai is being spoken, man. And now we in a time where, matter of fact, before I get that, let's get 2 Ezra 4. We see now, is things are being stirred up, things are being moved. Why? Because we in that time. This is 2 Ezra 4 and 37. It said, by measure have he measured the times, and by number have he numbered the times. See, and that's concerning these different rulerships and kingdoms that played out. These different regimes, they all had a time. They all had a time limit. They all had an expiration date. The Greeks didn't rule forever. The Babylonians didn't rule forever. The Persians didn't rule forever. The Egyptians didn't rule forever. They all had an expiration date. They all had a cutoff point. And that cutoff point was submitted by a certain event. Either it was taken back down by war, or Egypt by the way of strange calamities, which that's how America's going to be taken out. It's going to be through a strange calamity. It's going to be war, but it's going to be a strange war. That's why I said, but this battle is going to be with burning and fuel of fire. That's not how war was never cemented like that by the way of things in and off, by the way of thermonuclear missiles. But this is how this place is going to be taken out. That's how it's going. That's the cutoff point going to be submitted when the missiles touch this place. It says, by measure have he measured the times, and by number have he numbered the times, and he doth not move nor stir them, see, until the said measure be fulfilled. See, so now you seeing things are being moved and stirred up. Why? Because the measure is being fulfilled. You see now it's being moved out the way. Now you see this place is being cut off, it's being rooted up, plucked up. Which that's not a smooth process. You gonna, when you root something up, that's not something you just pluck up and just easily pluck. No, you gotta shake it back and forth. You gotta stir it up. You gotta, get all the way down to the roots, and that's what you see now. Things are happening. And ultimately, it's gonna be submitted by the way of America being overthrown by by war, because this is how this man came up into power. And it seemed like, that this man was never going to, it was no light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. Because, it was perceived that he had the military might, his technology, you got this beast system, So it seemed like this nigga was going to never fall out of power, man. He was actually, this nigga, if you look at the statue of Daniel, he was pretty much the whole bottom half of the statue. From the Greeks to the Romans, all the way down to the feet, man. Which you see here, this beast system, man. So this is Psalm 73 in verse 4. It says, for there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. See, they were strong. They were strong, man. It wasn't no formula to take out the so-called white man. Even back then with the Romans, you had Hannibal. He had some, but it wasn't the time for Esau to be stirred up or moved out the way. You had different skirmishes to try to uprising to overthrow this man. But guess what? It said their strength is firm. It wasn't the time, man. You know, and the formula to take this nigga down is by the way of this word. That's why you see things happen. That's why you got YouTube guidelines. That's why you got this thing called they want to put out what is called misinformation, disinformation. They want to, they want to stop this truth, man. Why? Because this is what's actually hindering. It says they are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. See? So it was, this man was, he won't have to look over his shoulder. He was at ease, so to speak. But now we're in a time where judgment is pursuing him. We're in a time now where, this bully on the block is now finna get bullied. We in that time. Everybody now see chink in the armor. They smell blood in the water. This man has grown feeble. Tell you the hardest people of the earth language, man. But we are in that time where this man, his reign of terror is over with. And it's going to be submitted by the way of World War III. Matter of fact, let's get this in the book of St. Luke 21. Yeah, this is the book of St. Luke, chapter 21, and verse 9. It says, but when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, see, be not terrified. For these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. See, so you're going to hear wars and commotions. You're going to hear rumors about America being destroyed. You're going to hear rumors about these other nations, turning on America, man. Because that was going to be the end. That's why I said these things will come to pass, but the end is not by and by. So they let you know the end is going to be submitted by war, man. That's why you got, that's like the heavyweight championship match. That's the build up to the end. You're going to, even though, you might have some matches on the card and shit. You might have some matches on the card, but the point of that event is the main event right there, which in this case is America, man. But you're gonna continue. It ain't like you're gonna talk about that championship match throughout the whole card, throughout that whole event. That's why you got an opening match. It's just to get you ready for the big thing, man. So the end of America, the end of this system is gonna be submitted by war, because this is how this man came into power. And like I said, we the ones that spread the rumor. We the one that's spreading this rumor, man. That this place is gonna be, gonna try to go, because this man, he's trusting the sword. This is how he lived. This is how he grew to this 7-headed dragon. Not by the way of war, terrorizing the people. But now, when he this time, it's not gonna work. See, the reason why you had the Fabulous 50s, it was cemented by war. The reason why you had the Roaring 20s, it was cemented by war, man. But in this case, it's not going to happen, man. So this is Jeremiah 51 and 46. It says, unless your heart faint and ye fear for the rumor that shall be heard in the land. See, and what's that rumor? The rumor of war. Because that's what the prophets always prophesy to you. The prophets before me and before thee of old. Matter of fact, let's get there real quick, because that's part of the ministry. War. This is how this nigga always, he waged war, on everything. You had the war on drugs. You had the war on terrorism. Now you got the war on the crown. But it always was a boogeyman. It had to be a carrier of the hub of terrorism. It had to be the hub of drugs. It had to be the hub of the crown. But guess what? The Lord is going to wage war on these niggas, man. So this is Jeremiah 28 and 8. It said, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. See? So this rumor that we spreading is war, man. And it's sure, too. That's why you see. That's why Lord Yahushua said you're gonna hear wars and commotions. You know, it was a point of time where you had Russia was in the news a lot. By the way of them creating those new missiles. They had the Satan II. Now they got the hypersonic missile. You had um, North Korea by the way of Little Rocket Man. Just that name in itself lets you know that it was time. You know, that you got to entertain that idea now that America gonna be overthrown by the way of war, man. You know, but who spoke it in existence? The prophet starting with the apostles, elders, and great millstone down, man. The words of Yahweh Shem Shai is in your face now, man. Let you know this book is alive and well. When you speak these words, it happens. So we the ones that spread them on. We the ones that causing the commotions. Now you actually seeing it take place. Now you seeing, like I said, the tides is being stirred up now. It's being moved and stirred up. Why? Because we in the appointed time now. You know. So this is on Jeremiah 51:46. Lest ye hear, I said, lest your heart faint and ye fear for the rumor that should be heard in the land. A rumor shall both come 1 year, and after that in another year shall come a rumor, and violence in the land, ruler against ruler. See, kingdom against kingdom. That's the rumor right there. That it's gonna be violence in the land. That this place, America's gonna be overthrown violently, man. Matter of fact, let's get that in the book of Revelations. That's pretty much the old tone. That's you want to get to the end of the movie. America's gonna be destroyed. So this is the book of Revelations 18. And I start at verse 20. It said, rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets. See, for the Most High have avenged you on her. See, so we was listening. We heard the rumor, and we was anticipating this. That's why the only ones that's gonna rejoice is the heavens, the apostles, the holy apostles, and the prophets. See, because those are the ones that's in the know, and those are the ones that need that to happen, man. It says, and a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. See? So that violence in the land, what land? The land of Babylon, which is America, man. You know? So that's the end all be all for this place. It came up on war. This place, is pretty much, with the study is like 93% at war. Which, let's say the Fabulous 50, that was a short stint, man. Next thing you know, then you had the Cold War, So it tell you they continually gather together for war, but this time when they go to war, it's not gonna work out in their favor, man. Because ultimately it's a build up to the destruction of America. That's why you have it in the news, but it's the main event. That's why the Lord said the end is not by and by, because that's gonna be the end, which we come upon that time. And like I said, you measure the time by the different events play out. We see that the chip is gaining steam. We see that the mark of the beast is about to be implemented. And any day now, the money can crash. Any day now, martial law can happen. That's part of those. That's the opening match. The persecution. That's the opening match. Things gonna start kicking off before the end is cemented by the way of war, man. Matter of fact, let's go back to Revelation 18 because let's get the card. Matter of fact, the match card. This is on Revelation 18 and 8. It said, therefore shall her plagues come in one day. See, death and mourning and famine. See, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord power who judgeth her. See, so you see, at the end of the day, you see death, mourning, and famine, which, especially that famine, that's going to contribute to that mark of the beast, man. The chip and the famine is going to go hand in hand. So that famine, which is when that chip comes, the hour of temptation, because you're going to be tempted because you're in the flesh. You're going to have to eat. You're going to have to drink. Who you going to depend on that day? But ultimately, the icing on the cake is she being burned with fire. And that's going to be when these other nations overthrow Babylon, by the World War III, even her allies. Even the allies of America are going to turn on them, man. you know. But we now in that time. America don't got another 40 years, 20 years, 10 years, 5 years. Look at this place. Look at the state of America. It's at its bitter end. So matter of fact, let's get this in the book of Isaiah, chapter 13. And I get to the bottom. Okay, this Isaiah 13 and 19. In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency. See? Meaning what this kingdom right here, you can't compare this kingdom to no other kingdom. You know, this is the only one dealing with its military. They can actually take flight. That's another reason why they're called the eagle. They can, drop bombs down upon you. You know, this man, his technology, everybody pretty much got the Urim and Thummim, by the way of these phones, man. You know, and the Chinese excellencies, this man, the television. Let's say these different technology and his witchcraft. Guess what? It says, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, and what happened? The Lord rained fire upon that place. And what's going to be about that modern day fire? The missiles, man. It said it shall never be inhabited. Neither shall it dwell in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there. Neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. See, meaning what you're not going to be able to establish in this place. It's going to be totally uprooted. You're not going to come back and establish here when the smoke cleared the dust settled. It said, but wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of dull creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. See? It said, and the wild beasts of the island shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. See? Because you're going to actually have, these different desert creatures where mansions and shit was, where the White House was, and, there's going to be dwelling places for desert creatures, man. Those are the ones that's going to inhabit this place, man. And ain't no telling how long that's going to be when they'll be able to come over here, man. It says, and her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. And now we in that time now. That it's not being prolonged. The Lord is now finna cut this bitch off pretty much. That's why I said the Lord, he don't move nor stir the times until the said measure fulfilled. And the measure is being fulfilled by different events play out. Even though it's, set up, you might rule so many years, but those years are cemented by different events that play out. Just like, you look at the prophet Simeon, the scripture said he couldn't die until he seen Yahweh Shai. So this place America, things got to happen first before the war is cemented. Just going back, it said you're going to hear wars and commotions, but the end is not by and by. Other things got to play out first. And that last thing is that chip, which that's what we waiting on now. Then ultimately, the icing on the cake is the missiles, man. So matter of fact, I'm going to end off on this because everybody, I said these other nations and even America allies is going to do what they going to do. So matter of fact, this is Revelation 17 and 16, and the 10 horns which thou saw upon the beast, these shall hate the horse. See, so these other nations are going to turn on America, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. See, so pretty much ultimately, that's what's going to happen. The same beast you've been riding upon, and you've been goddamn pretty much, leeching off of, they're going to say, you know what, let's get rid of this bitch. She's the problem. And that's what's going to happen. Everybody now saying that America is the problem. Really, ultimately, the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. But if you cut the head off, which is America, everything else going to fall apart. But this is all part of the plans of Yahweh, But ultimately, just getting to the point, we are in that point of time where this man is about to be overthrown in a violent way. So yeah, I can just hold it edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash, double